Thank you for tuning in. This interview has been split into multiple episodes. If you have not listened to the previous content, you may want to listen to those episodes first. Enjoy the show.
All right, let's move on to question number 2. All right, next question. Question number 2 is, what's one thing you learned from your parents you want to pass down to your children? And we'll say what we learned from our parents, and you guys say what you learned from us. So what's one thing you've learned that you would like to pass down to your kids when you have kids?
I will have to say me and Mom had a very open relationship when I was a teenager, whether that's, oh, I'm going on a date for the first time, or I made this new friend, or just really anything in general that I felt like I could go to Mom about. Because I feel like once you start hiding things from your parents, that is when kids get into trouble or things happen that shouldn't happen. So I feel like having that, I will be mad at you. Yes, there's so many times Mom would be mad at me. She'd be like, what are you doing? Stop being a stupid teenager. Yeah. But she supported me and...
Yeah. Well, definitely. Because that threw me off.
I was just going to bring that up. That
oh my God.
Mark was not
I was like,
should
you talk to her about this?
Because there was no topic that was off.
Yeah,
limits.
If I heard something at school, I'm like, Mom, what does this mean?
Yeah, literally, it was like you asked anything, and like you would tell her, and I was all like, oh, wow, okay. But the more you think about it, most kids will do things out of curiosity. Let's be honest. Okay?
100%.
Most kids will do things out of curiosity because they don't know. So they're going to do it to find out. So they're either going to do it and find out, or you can talk to them and have them find out.
It's a good one.
Okay. It's just like with anything, like with firearms. People will hurt themselves with firearms if they are not trained and they don't know about firearms. Yeah. Because they're curious. How does it work? What would happen? Whatever, fill in the blank. Same thing goes with like drugs, drinking, sex. If they're curious, they're going to do it to find out about it. So if you take away that curiosity, now it's like, okay, it's not a big deal anymore.
Because a good example, like for this, would be raves. As a kid, I was always so curious about raves. My uncle would go to raves. Family members would go to raves. I was like, what are raves? Like, what would happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what even is so fun about raves?
Like,
and so me and Mom would talk about that. And then I was like, oh, that does not sound fun. I do not care. And I still have not been to a rave. Yeah. Because I'm like, that does. Now I know what it is, and I don't care.
And not only that, but even like the big house parties you've gone to.
Yeah.
You've left.
You've left before it got sketchy. Or like I remember it, maybe it was a dance. The kid that OD'd.
Oh yeah.
You saw it, and you saw it happening, and you helped. You basically probably saved his life, to be honest with you.
Yeah, could have. Yeah.
I'm not trying to like toot your own horn or anything, but like you probably literally saved that kid's life because I think it was a dance, right?
Yeah, it was I want to say it was our homecoming.
Yeah,
because it was the football team.
He was a kicker, right?
I don't know if he was a kicker. I honestly don't remember.
But he was on the football team.
But he was on the football team, and we lost that game because so many of the football players were out because they got caught.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so we got our butts kicked in that homecoming game.
Yeah.
Because half of our team was out.
Yeah. And you noticed that he was acting funny, and then I think you saw pills or something. You saw something.
Yeah. He was by the trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you basically got him help. Everybody else left him because they're like, oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble because I'm with him.
But that brings up to the point of, I think, why we are like that. We have a family member who OD'd.
Yes.
And nobody saved him.
His friends basically
Everybody
left him
because they were scared they would get in trouble.
So he was a cousin of yours who
19
years old. So he was
about my age.
Coming clean. He was younger than you.
Yeah, he was younger than me by a year.
You're older than he was. Like you've lived longer than he did. He was coming clean because he'd had an addiction problem before. left, went and moved to Chicago with.
No, left Chicago.
Okay, left Chicago. So he got into addiction in Chicago.
Correct.
Because his parents moved to Chicago at that
Correct.
point.
And so he came back.
He came back to Salt Lake because none of his contacts were out there.
Correct.
And he went out one time, and that's apparently one of the unfortunate themes with people that are rehabbing that fall off the wagon is their bodies detoxed from it, and then they try to go back and do what they used to do, and it's too much.
And all of his friends, I'm using air quote friends.
Yeah.
So I feel like that, talking about being open with your kids,
Mm-hmm.
that was very open. I
Yeah.
was open with my kids that if you see something with somebody, don't leave them.
Yeah.
Didn't they just leave him, or did they just drop him off at a?
No, they left him.
They
They
left
didn't even
him.
take him to the hospital.
They didn't even take him
Did
to the
they call the
hospital.
cops later?
No.
No, it was hours. It
Like
was
next morning.
it was like 12 or 20 hours later or something like that.
Yeah. So basically, these are wasted space humans
Correct.
that they literally see somebody ODing and they just leave them to die.
Correct.
Yep.
So if you're a friend,
Don't do that.
don't do that. That's bad.
And
Okay.
keep in mind, police actually, they won't do anything. Like, they don't arrest in situations like
no,
that.
their goal is to
They're
save
there
the
to
kids.
save that person's
Their
life.
goal is to save
They're
their
not
life.
worried about, the person next to you, what kind of drugs do they have on
Yeah,
them, or
exactly.
what
And you
warrants
can-
do they
and
have,
you can drop them off at a hospital.
or that.
Yeah.
You don't even have to know
And
your
a
name.
lot, and like a lot of times they tell people you can even call 911 and put the person outside the house.
Yeah.
And
They'll get them.
yeah, so that
There's
There's
so many
ways of being able to
reasons.
save
so
somebody.
we've kind of gone a little squirrel moment. We have a few squirrel
But-
moments.
But I
No,
think
but
that's the
that-
whole
that-
topic.
that's the whole
is
point is
to
you
be
talk-
open with your kids.
Yeah, talk to each other.
About
Talk to your kids honestly. Okay. You don't have to if they don't ask it, you don't have to glorify and tell them something.
100%.
But if they ask or you see them coming into a situation where this may occur, talk to them. Be honest with them. If you haven't done it, say, I haven't done this, but this is what I've seen from other people.
Correct. And I
Okay.
always would tell the kids, if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for
Exactly.
us. So if I don't know it,
We'll find it.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Yeah.
But don't be like, oh, it's bad, don't do it. Or
Correct.
nobody does this, don't worry about it. No, don't
Now I'm
li-
going to be worried about it.
don't
about what
don't
that
lie to
is.
your kids. Be honest with them.
Yep.
Tell them the truth.
And I won't promote whatever it is. Like,
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
drinking underage, we'll never promote that. But I'd rather my kid call me and say, hey, I'm at this party,
Yeah,
and
come
these
pick
people
me
have been drinking. We don't have a ride home.
Come pick me up, or
I'll be
hey,
there very fast.
hey, I actually did drink a little bit tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Can you come pick me up? Yes, we'll come pick you up. I
Agreed.
will be furious with you.
Yep.
Oh, that is
But-
something that we
but
instilled
we
in
will-
both of them.
we will come
I
pick
might
you up.
gripe and
And be mad.
at
And
the entire car ride home,
Mm-hmm.
but I will be there in a heartbeat. So
It's happened a few times. We won't get into it.
that's
But-
another episode.
Yeah, that's another episode.
That's not part of the questions.
Yes. Okay, Jamin,
Yes.
what's one thing you've learned from us that you would like to pass down to your kids whenever you have kids?
Probably the financial freedom.
Yes, that's a good one. That is one thing Shanna, kudos to Shanna. She
You're missing it. I'm patting my back.
she will toot her own horn. She definitely instilled and has taught the kids the importance of money and how money works. Because
There's plenty of adults that don't know.
We actually talked about this yesterday. Maya's got some friends. We're not going to name any names, but she's got some friends that unfortunately are not the savviest with it, and they get mad at Maya because she is smart with it. Okay, so teaching your kids financial freedom and how money works is very, very important. Okay. So is there anything else you guys have learned from us that you would like to pass down to your kids?
I mean, mom's probably going to say this, but I think traveling,
Okay.
you can't be buried with your money.
So
I mean, obviously you don't want to put yourself in a financial burden.
Yes.
Do not
Goes to
recommend
financial
that.
freedom, but
But making memories is worth more than saving.
Yes.
I mean, you still want to save. I backtrack that. But
buying things.
yeah.
Yeah, making memories is more impactful than gift giving.
That
There's nothing wrong with giving a gift, but like if you only give gifts, they become meaningless.
So that is mine, what I learned from my parents. You know, we all know that my mom passed away when I was pretty young. And that's what I learned, is because I remember her last gift she gave me, because those are seared into my brain.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you
What you got for Christmas as a 10-year-old.
no.
Yeah.
And my mom probably did everything she could to give me that best Christmas, but I don't remember what I got. But I do remember going to Mexico with my mom. I remember going to San Diego with my mom. I remember going on trips and traveling and doing fun camping trips. And I remember fun things. And so that's when it was like, we need to do fun activities. So,
Yeah.
and that's when the Christmas stopped, because I don't need to stress myself out and spend thousands of dollars on a Christmas for things for them. And
Basically, Christmas stopped when Jamin stopped believing in Santa.
100%.
spoiler alert,
I mean,
plug your
Santa's
small,
totally real, and he comes every Christmas as long as you're a good kid. But if you're not a good kid, which usually happens around 10, he stops coming. So
yeah. So yes, that's when I feel like
we really stopped doing the traditional Christmas.
correct.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Tooth Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy's totally real. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you lose a tooth, you get money under your pillow. Duh. Right? Yeah, and the Easter
Yes.
Bunny too.
Uh-huh.
He walks around, just craps out candy. Which, if you
And
ever see a
golden
bunny,
eggs.
please don't eat the chocolate nuggets that come out of them.
The chocolate.
Lesson
the
101.
tiny
All right.
chocolate
So
eggs.
what did you learn from your? And I also feel like I got to say my dad. I got to shout out my dad, because I feel like he instilled into me my work ethic. And I feel like I have passed that on to my kids. We're not ones to call in sick. Either I can look either one of them in the face. They're not
Yeah,
calling
no.
into work sick. They're not missing.
Unless we literally have to.
Yes.
Which
They're-
being sick. Okay, so you brought up sick. This is not about calling in sick. Okay, we love you, Shanna. The way she has, Shanna loves her boy. Okay, so
I
when
know
it
where
comes
this
to
is
being
going.
sick, Jamin could have a runny nose and be like, "Oh, sweet baby, stay home from school. Like I'll make you soup and just snuggle.
I'll stay home from work to be
I'll stay
with
home
you.
from work and I'll take care of you." And he could just have a runny nose. It's like allergy season. Maya, on the other hand,
My
Mom,
throat closes.
I'm really
up.
sick. I can't go to school. You better get your butt up and go to school. There ain't no calling in sick here. Yeah, Maya literally it was strep throat, right?
Yeah, strep throat. I felt my throat closing up.
Her throat was literally closing up.
They're never going to let us live this down as
And then the doctor was like, "Oh man, you're really sick. Your throat's starting to get a little narrow." And Maya's like, I told you, my throat's closing up." Yeah,
So perks of being the baby child.
yeah, or just a boy with a mother. Mothers love their little
That
boys.
is true.
So,
I know one time you also let me stay home for like a week too.
yep,
I don't know about a week. A week's a long time.
yeah. Jamin tries to pull in sick card with me, and I'm like, no.
I pulled mine because I know
Or being
it'll
pulled
work.
out of a wheelchair out of school, and he wasn't even
Yes.
sick.
Oh my goodness.
I remember that.
This
one.
was at Spectrum your
This was
senior
school.
year.
No, it wasn't senior.
It
I
was
think
it was
sophomore.
Sophomore year? Okay, so
Sophomore year.
when
It
he was at
before
Spectrum,
COVID.
and he was tired.
I don't even
Okay.
know what happened.
He-
My whole
he-
entire body got tensed up and I couldn't like move it that.
He
well
was
at all.
tired,
No, like
so he called and was like, "Hey, I'm not feeling well. I need to go home." Well,
And I can't remember. I was in a there was something with a meeting that.
well, it was also on a Wednesday, so Grandpa Merle usually picked him up on Wednesdays. So Shannon calls her dad and was like, hey, can you go pick up Jamin early? And as he's there, Merle calls and was like, is he okay? He's being wheeled out in a wheelchair. Is everything all right? Do I need to take him to the hospital? And like starts freaking out because Merle in hospitals do not go well. Okay. He's the type of guy, and I didn't believe it until I saw it. If he goes into a hospital, what does he do, Shanna?
He passes out.
He passes out. Like,
Full
no
on,
joke.
against the wall.
He will pass out if he goes into a hospital. And I was like, whatever. Like, she's told me this story multiple times. And then one time we were at the hospital and he was there. And the next thing I know, he leans up against a wall and he just slides down it. And he's unconscious sitting down on the floor. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. He's out. And then all of a sudden everybody rushes over to him and Shanna's got to be like, don't worry about him.
I need to get him out of here.
Just put him in a wheelchair, wheel him outside, and he'll be fine.
I need to get him out of here.
And then the second he leaves the hospital and like fresh air hits him, he's like, oh, and he's absolutely fine. Okay, so he's dreading having to like take Jamin to the hospital if he's got to go to the hospital.
But he does.
And they just
And
like,
I race to the hospital.
And they're like, he's just tired. He can go home.
And paid $500
Yeah.
or whatever the cope. I don't even remember.
And then one other time,
Karma.
one other time, you were complaining about an upset stomach of some sort.
Yes. That was
Okay.
recent. That was like a year ago.
This was
About
like
a year.
this is about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, he was complaining about an upset stomach and he just had gas.
No.
No. I'm not talking about. I'm going to get to that one. There was another time we took him, and it was like nothing was wrong with him. It was just like normal body stuff. And then about a year ago, he's all like, I don't feel good. And we're like, at this time, it's like the boy who cried
Third time's
wolf.
the charm. We're not falling for this
We're like,
again.
whatever, dude. Like, you can power through it. And he's like, I really don't feel good. Like, I really hurt. Like, my stomach really hurts. And we're like, whatever, you'll be fine.
It was like the middle of the
A
night.
day goes on.
It was the middle of the night.
It was the
also.
middle
Yeah.
of the night. And I woke up randomly in the middle of the night.
And it was
I was like
really
crying.
hurting him.
I was in pain.
It was really hurting him, and you could visibly see that it was bothering him.
I was
So
crying.
we're like, okay, let's go to the hospital. Well, this time it was legit. He had kidney stones.
4 a.m.
And we're like, how in the hell does a 20-year-old
I was
have
like,
kidney
I think I
stones?
was like
19, 20.
Guess what we found out it's from, friends?
Energy drinks.
Energy drinks.
Do not drink
Yeah.
energy drinks.
Stay away.
My
All the-
coconut berry
all the-
Red Bull.
the
And
calcium
to this day, I still
deposits.
have them.
All the calcium deposits created kidney stones. So you ended up passing a kidney stone, which is very painful. It's not.
Awful.
I've
It's
heard it's
not-
next to childbirth.
That's what I've heard
Is it
also.
really? Oh
Yeah.
my god, I hated it.
It's very painful.
But
luckily- Once it's gone, it's over.
You
And
just have to pass it.
yeah, you just have to pass it.
it's awful.
So yes, but ironically enough,
I got old man
calling into sick to work, these guys don't really do it that often.
Nope.
Like you've got like 500 sick hours at work.
Yep.
I have a lot too.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
kudos to them for
And
Push through.
pushing through,
I was like,
powering
Get
through.
your
With-
I
job
was like,
done.
There was plenty of times where you could have called in sick and you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was
And
like,
there's been a couple of times where you probably could have called in sick and you didn't too.
yeah.
So that's what I think I learned from my dad.
It's work ethic.
Work ethic.
Yeah. Your dad's always working.
He is
He-
always.
He
al-
shouldn't be
always
working.
Even as like a 66-year-old, he's like still
he's like almost 70. I bet.
still punching that
Okay,
time
please stop
clock.
working, Grandpa. We need you.
And he's not doing like a cushy job.
No.
He's a mechanic in a shop, and he's actually wrenching again.
Yeah.
So like, good for him. Oh my gosh, if someone should have health problems, it should be Merle.
And nothing's wrong
And
with
nothing ever happens to Merle.
Nope.
He's like the healthiest person ever. He smokes like a pack of cigarettes a day, like, and he's still healthy as an ox.
His
No
mom-
lung problems.
His
him.
mom.
And Grandma Betty also.
Oh,
she's like
his
90,
mom-
what, sick?
yeah. And
His
she's also
mom-
as healthy as can be.
Is this little Latin lady named Betty Smith,
Harris.
Betty Harris, and nothing goes on with her either.
Nope.
Unless she eats Taco Bell or
No,
Del Taco for 21 days straight, and then she has what, appendicitis?
No,
or
gallbladder.
she
She had to
had
get her gallbladder removed.
she had
from Del Taco.
gallstones, and they removed her gallbladder.
And they told her to quit eating Del Taco, and she said, "I'm 90 years old.
I'll eat Del Taco if I want to.
Yeah.
I don't care if it puts me in the coffin, is what she said.
And she still does eat Del Taco because we took her some.
Yeah. She doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, what I learned from my parents, and I don't know if I've done the best job at this, but I try, is being present. Okay. Like I talked about it on the last podcast with my dad. That man was at every single one of my games all the time. And I told him as an adult, I realized how hard that actually is to do, because it's not easy to rearrange your work schedule, prioritize certain things, and then all of a sudden being able to make it to those things. So that is one thing that I've learned that I've tried, but I don't think I've done a very good job at. Shanna does obviously a way better job at it than I do, but the importance of being present at things.
I actually feel like you were very present in our games.
So time out. That's going into my question number 3.
It's called a segue, Shanna.
Oh, perfect. Well, can I ask my question?
Okay, so question number 3 is for Shanna.
So my question for Maya and Jamin is, we know what Mark does is a very demanding schedule, and he has missed out and he's not been there. Do you guys feel, in high school when you were at your things, did you feel he was present, or did you feel that he missed out on things, or was he there when it mattered? Go ahead.
So yes, Dad can miss some things. Yes, he can. I was like,
because I know I didn't make everything.
yeah. I was like, I know you didn't, but sometimes Mom can make it too. Sometimes, both my parents have jobs that need them all the time and all that stuff. But
you were there when it mattered.
Yeah.
Like senior night, we were both there, obviously.
I was like, you guys are there when it mattered. Even sometimes when you guys weren't there, I also felt like you guys were there with me through some of those times.
Because of the
also.
motivationals I stuck in the gym bags, but carry on.
Not really.
Oh, you probably don't remember those. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't actually. I also don't care for them because I probably didn't read them either.
Oh.
Ooh,
If you want the truth.
Those late
right,
nights.
right to the
Pinterest
heart.
searches just right down the drain.
Yep. Go ahead. So you think he was there when it mattered?
Yeah.
Maya?
So I think that as well, but I also think opposite wise, Mark had such an open schedule where obviously he was his own boss. So he did have opportunities to be able to go to things that even maybe Mom couldn't, or that's during the work hours, or
Well, you
I
like
think
it.
you had more open.
You like it because I don't work in the morning.
Yeah, so
an adult.
As an adult, when I
as
have
an
car
adult.
troubles and I need Mark to jumpstart my car, he is available.
Yes.
So as an adult, you like you like the mornings.
Appreciate the morning schedule.
Yeah.
But he was always at my regions, competitions.
Again, when it mattered.
Your senior year, I made sure that I made every comp.
Yes, senior
year I made every comp. Sophomore and junior year, I was only able to make kind of select fews. But
And
I was like,
I will never forget. That was an eye-opening thing for you. You're like, oh my gosh,
Sitting
we
in
have
a bench
to
for
sit
10 hours.
this bleacher for 10 hours and we can't leave because someone will take our spot?
oh God, if anybody's ever been to a drill competition, don't.
Not for the week.
Don't go to a drill competition, okay? Have somebody record it and you can watch it later.
But that's not
Okay.
the same. We need you cheering.
This is true. Now, what, and you'll figure this out too whenever it is that you have kids and you go to events. Now I have a very good appreciation for my parents, and now I understand how smart my dad was. My dad would bring his own chair,
Oh, yeah.
okay? And I was
Genius.
always all like, oh, God damn.
So
like,
embarrassing.
him and his damn chair. It's like, Jesus. Now I'm thinking, man, where's my damn chair?
Yeah.
Because you sit on these hard-ass bleachers with no back support, your butt's going numb, and you literally watch their kid dance
For 3 minutes.
total.
12 minutes.
No, I'm like
Some of
3
our
minutes
dances are like a
total.
minute and a half, 2
Yeah.
minutes
I'm talking total. So you're there for 10 hours
for 5 minutes
from
max.
8 a.m. to 8 p.m., so 12 hours, and you get to watch them dance for 3 minutes. It's not fair. But during that 3 minutes, it's awesome, okay? And then another thing that was super eye-opening about drill comps is at the end, they have all the teams sitting out on the gym floor as a team, and then all of a sudden a song will come on, and the entire gym does this dance, and you're like, what the hell is this?
It's like a flash mob.
Yeah, and I was all like, how do they all know this dance?
So going back to the question.
It was the Cupid Shuffle, by the way.
Everybody knows the Cupid Shuffle.
I didn't know the Cupid
That's like
Shuffle.
Top 5 vacation
that's
song.
like
Well, I know the
one.
Cupid Shuffle now.
That's like cruise.
They played at the
main
cruise, but
song right
like
there.
I never heard it until I saw it at a dance comp, and I was like, "Oh,
Everybody
this is a thing." Yeah.
But I do have something to add from my story. Is thankfully Mark was there at my senior showcase.
Oh yeah, the senior showcase.
Because I actually tore my calf muscle or strained it, who knows. And Mark had to carry me off the floor. So
it was interesting. I remember watching that. And we're watching you dance.
I was watching it too.
We're watching you dance, and you landed wrong, and I knew it right away. You hit the ground, and your body reacted somehow, and I was like, she hurt herself. And Shanna's like, I think you're right. And she's like trying to run onto the floor mid-song, and I was like, sit down.
Yep, Mark had to hold me back because I was going to.
I go, just sit down. And then you tried dancing more, and you just like collapsed, and I was like, all right, now let's go. And we rushed out onto the floor. We got you. We picked you up. And we went to the back. And your mom's like, you're done. You're not dancing anymore. And I was like, no, she's not.
Yeah,
like,
that's when, because she was crying and
yeah,
you looked and
you're
you
like,
said, this could be my last time.
Yeah, you're
and
like,
it
oh,
was.
man. Like, oh, it's like, you were devastated. Because you're like, I'm not going to be able to finish. Like, this is my senior showcase. I remember sitting in the back with Kennedy. You know, you, Shanna, Drew went back there, and you're like, Maya, no, don't dance anymore. You're fine. Just stay here, rest. And I was like, I was like, wrap it up, stretch it out, take your time back here. But I'm like, you got to finish somehow. I go, because this is it. This may be the last time you quote unquote lace them up.
Yep, and that was the last time. So
That was the
very
last
thankful,
time.
Mom, that I did not listen to you. I'm sorry.
One of the few times that Shanna was not right, which
It's all right. I can admit when I'm wrong.
yeah, you're right 9 times out of 10, which is pretty good percentage.
It is.
So
I'll take it. Take those odds.
Yeah.
But thank you, Mark, for carrying me off the dance floor.
You're welcome, because it was you're so heavy. So I strained my back, but it's okay.
Right.
Yeah, but that was a fun dance comp. Because that was all you guys.
Yep, it was just us.
It was just Olympus drill. It was an hour of just you guys dancing, and that one, those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't care about all those other teams.
I know.
Like, yay, you're whatever. Get off the court.
Well,
Where's Olympus?
I have to say, kind of, kind of finishing it all up is really. You guys, he was there when he needed to be.
I tried my best to make sure if it was an important date, like I really
whether it's for me or them,
for Shanna,
who it is.
If it's like, because I know I can't make everything, and I try not to beat myself up about not making everything.
Correct.
Because it's very easy to do that, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if I can't be here for this, what's more important, this one or that one?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, this one's more important. I've got to make sure that I have coverage for this one.
Correct.
Because even though I'm quote unquote my own boss, that doesn't mean that there's certain hours you can't be here.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to say is it takes a lot of energy, I feel like, to be a teacher and being on your A game for your dojo and all of your students. So I think we refill your gas tank.
So if you're ever wondering what keeps me motivated to being a teacher, it's these 3 people sitting in front of me. Okay.
Insert teardrops.
Insert cries. Yeah. It really is, because when like Shanna says, when you're a teacher and when you're trying to motivate people, you pour yourself into those people.
And so when he comes home and he's drained for us, we refill that.
Yes.
So he can be the best he can be.
For the students. And then at the same time, that also says the character of the people around me, that I will still give whatever I've got left to them.
Correct.
But yet they still give so much back to me that it fills me back up. So not only can I hopefully be a good dad and a good husband and a good teacher, but now it's like that's your motivating factor. So a book I just got done listening to is called The One Thing. And like I encourage you guys to kind of figure out what that one thing is for you, that what's your driving factor for you working so hard? Or what's that one thing for you, like studying or getting ready for an exam or motivating you at work or with a relationship? Because you've been in a long-term relationship. What's that one thing that continues to motivate you with Elliot? And you don't have to say it. This is like for you personally.
Yeah,
okay? Just to think about it. Yeah, no. You don't have to. This is a personal.
Was not a part of
this
the
is
agenda.
a personal question for you because to be like you got to look at it. How many people have been in a relationship as long as you have?
Marriages,
not many.
Right, marriages.
Because you're going on what, 7 years?
Yeah, we just hit our 7-year mark.
That's a huge deal, especially for someone your age.
Yeah.
Kids your age don't like to stay in relationships very long because they get bored, quote unquote bored, or we've hit a rough patch, or blah, blah, blah. They're not willing to work through struggles,
Right.
which obviously you're in a relationship, so you're bound to have struggles.
Oh, yes.
Because you're dealing with somebody else.
Yeah.
Anytime you deal with another human being, there's going to be conflict at some point. And you can either work through it, or you can do the easy route and not work through it and just move on. But then you don't grow.
Right.
So, like, you've grown a lot in your relationship because of your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like us. I'm not the same person I was when we first started dating. Neither are you. Okay. Jamin, you've grown a lot since you started working more, and you're starting to be accountable to your work and the people at your work, like that whole team thing that you talked about earlier in the show. So that's my one thing. The reason why I run the dojo is, one, I like martial arts. I like teaching, but it's also to help provide for the family. So anytime you're dealing with something that takes a lot, you got to make sure you give a lot to the people that deserve it.
Yep.
Okay. So sometimes it's hard. Like you'll come home and you're done. You're just like, I'm finished. It's over. That's when hopefully you have a good base around you. That's like, okay, let's make sure we recharge you. Cause then when you're recharged, you can get back to us. So you don't do it selfishly, but it's that whole, like, you get what you give. Okay. So if you give a lot to something, then that something in turn is going to give a lot back if you do it with the right motivation. But if you're like sneakily being like, well, if I do this, then I may get this in return, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's not for the right reasons.
Nope, exactly. But if you're like, man, I'm going to give this because I care about these people, I love them, they're everything to me, they in turn give back.
Yeah.
So like with here, I give to the students as much as I can. Why? Because I care about them and I want them to grow. In turn, they pay tuition.
Yeah. That's
the give take. Okay.
Our motto at work is for growth, not recognition.
That's a great saying. Great saying. Growth, not recognition. I'm stealing that. So,
Steal it.
Good job. So
All right.
moving on. So great questions. Thank you for answering. Moving on to my favorite part of the show, the fight scenes. So moving on to our fight scenes. Okay, this week's fight scene or fight theme or scene or whatever, dealing with the horror movie bad guys. We have Leatherface versus Michael Myers. Okay, so how we do this, because you guys haven't done this before, how we do this is it's a 3-round fight. Okay. 1 round in each of their home turfs. So we're going to do 1 round in Haddonfield, Illinois, 1 round in some random plains in Texas, which, by the way, Shannon just realized the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in Texas. That's okay, though. We won't hold that against you. She's like, what do you mean they're in Texas?
It's
in
Texas
it's in the
Chainsaw.
title.
Kind of like I'm asking where the police station is. The
Yeah.
building that says the police station.
It's the one that says police.
The
So,
police
Carry
department.
and then we're going to do one round in a ring, hand to hand. Okay.
No weapons.
No weapons. Just fighting.
No saw or knife.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So, first round, we'll do hat and filled. Who you got? Leatherface?
Michael.
Or Michael?
Michael.
I'm still going Leatherface. Are you kidding me? The
No.
dude's got a chainsaw.
But
But
I thought
Michael
we're not
has
doing weapons.
No, they in the third round.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Third
This
one.
is-
I'm still
So
because it's his home. It's his home turf.
I
would-
think he knows the area.
Typically, I would agree with you. Okay, because typically the home field always wins. Okay, because it's they know
Yeah,
it.
because he knows where to hide and where he needs to pop
But it's a
out at the exact
neighborhood.
time.
That's the
But
thing.
Leatherface knows nothing.
Exactly.
He hides
But
in a barn.
He has a chainsaw. That
But he has a
means it's-
That's
it's-
my biggest motive. Like, you can vote for. I'm not trying to sway your vote.
Yeah.
You can vote for
I'm
whoever
Team
you
Michael
want.
Myers.
Team Michael.
I'm voting Leatherface because of the chainsaw. To
Okay.
be
Just-
honest
I was
with
I
like,
you.
just think
Okay.
Are
he
you
could
changing?
cut
No.
his arm.
I was like,
He
to
could cut his arm.
No longer have a chainsaw.
He could cut his arm. That is true.
the only
So-
reason
Because
why
Michael
I'm not,
can fight. Leatherface just has the saw.
See,
He's
I'm-
not a physical fighter.
I don't know. I would debate
Well, the only
that.
reason why also
See,
is because the chainsaw is loud and all that stuff, and then the knife that Michael Myers has isn't, so he can
That's also a good
get
point.
around
That is
the
a good
place
point.
Because
all
the
He'll know where
chainsaw
he
without,
is.
yeah.
True.
That,
didn't think of that.
that is true. I didn't think of that either. So Michael could just avoid the chainsaw sounds and then find him and then
Get him from
try
behind.
to
and, like,
run behind him.
Yeah, and
That's the problem with Michael Myers, though. Is like
Silent but deadly.
he is silent, and he does seem to kind of catch everybody from behind. But
All right, you're
I don't
sticking
know.
to it.
I'm still sticking to the whole
all right.
All right.
unless he like stabs him in the back of the neck, like right where the brainstem
Or,
meets
like,
the
the
skull.
jugular.
I think, yeah.
Unless he stabs him there. If he stabs him just like in the back, Leatherface turn around, cutting him in half. So,
Or like the jugular too.
Okay,
all right, now they're in the barren plains of Texas,
with a barn.
like a ranch house barn style.
I'm telling you that
That's-
house
that's
gives me.
Leatherface.
That is what terrifies me.
Gives you the
Creep.
willies.
P.
Well, if you've ever seen the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that movie's scary.
I haven't.
I don't.
actually.
I don't know about
seen
the
it.
It's actually
first one.
50th anniversary yesterday.
Yeah, it's weird because it looks real.
I haven't
And
seen
the
it. I
guy, the
actually
guy
do
that
wanna see it,
plays
though.
Leatherface, oh, he's great because he does like all these weird grunting and snorting and like weird sounds, and you're just like, ooh, this is weird.
So I again have to go with home field. I'm going in Texas. I'm going.
I also
Leatherface.
think Leatherface
Yeah.
because there's not a lot of places for Michael to hide. Like, it's basically cornfields
Yeah.
and a barn.
Yep.
Also
So,
good.
like, that's why people die so much in Leatherface or in Texas Chainsaw is because they have nowhere to run.
Yeah, and if they
and
go
if
in
they
the
do
house,
run, there's literally miles and miles and miles
Yep.
of nothing.
yeah,
That's a good point.
And I was
That's
like,
a good one.
even if they do try and run too, because I'm going to choose Leatherface also for this one, because if it's cornfields, it's going to be. I was like, if it's dead corn, it's going to be loud.
Yeah,
I was like, it's going to rustle through the wind. You're going to
Crunching.
hear footsteps going through it like it's no one's business. So
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to die before they even know what's near them.
I'm going Leatherface. You?
Leatherface. Leatherface.
All right.
As much as Michael Myers is scary, he's just tall.
Now we get to the real one.
Okay,
where-
yeah. Now they got no weapons,
Team Michael.
and they're just in a ring fighting.
Michael's a physical fighter.
See, I'm also that Team Michael.
I was like, Michael has been through a lot.
yeah, and I just feel like he's a big guy. He's strong,
So
and
is
he's
Leatherface,
physical.
though. So is Leatherface. Leatherface is a big dude, too.
But
Yeah.
you don't see him physically fight in his movies.
He doesn't have to. He just grabs somebody and it's done.
Exactly. So if he doesn't have that saw,
If he
No,
got-
not the saw. Just
he
like he
grabs
just
him by
grabs
his
somebody.
throat and
so
just,
does
like,
Michael.
chokes him out.
He
Yeah.
hangs them. He chokes them.
He
and
does.
then
They
stabs them
both
against
have
the
that
wall.
like supernatural like
strength.
type of strength
Yeah.
where it's like you're hopped up on adrenaline. So
All right, what's yours?
I've got Leatherface.
Ooh,
Hot
you went
take.
Yeah,
team Leatherface all
one,
the way.
I think he can.
3-0.
I think he can take a beating, and still continue. Granted, Michael can take a beating too, but I think Leatherface is built more for a beating because he's a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
And thicker dudes can take a hit. So he'll take the punishment until Michael starts to wear out, and then that's when he'll
go in.
Start laying down the lumber.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and plus he's got like a natural face protector.
So does Michael.
So does Michael, though.
It's like an extra layer of skin. Literally. Yeah.
Yeah, he spooks. He scares me.
He really
We
does.
should watch Texas Chainsaw.
I want to watch.
Yeah, we're gonna
watch.
watch. I think we should watch that tonight.
I haven't watched it.
The first one, the original.
Yeah.
The OG.
Oh man, it's creepy.
See,
Like, he looks like a maniac.
That's
Yeah,
the one I
he
want to
does.
watch
I
because
like
I haven't seen
the
it.
new first one,
The new first one's
Yeah,
good.
the remake.
the remake. Yeah.
I
No,
want
the
to watch
one with
I want
Jessica-
to watch the OG one because I haven't watched that one.
Ooh, that's one where I have to watch.
Who's Justin Timberlake's wife? Jessica Biel.
Jessica
Yeah,
Biel.
Jessica
Jessica
Biel.
Biel.
That one or the one with that like Alexandria Darius or something?
Don't know
I
anybody.
don't know any of the names.
I just know it's the first remake.
Or the one with Jordana Brewster.
Don't have a clue.
I think the original remake is the one with Jessica Biel.
I feel like unpopular opinion before you can keep harping on us for movies that we have to watch. I feel like you have to watch the Titanic.
Yeah,
Do you know he's still never
I
watched it?
haven't watched the Titanic.
You can't come at me for Star Wars if you
Yeah.
haven't seen Titanic.
Well, everybody knows what happens in the Titanic.
Same
Whatever.
thing for Star Wars.
We all know.
not
We all know who the
everybody-
father is.
Exactly.
Without
What?
even seeing it.
Spoiler alert. Good man, Maya. Jeez.
I didn't say who the father was.
This is true. You
I
did
just
it.
said we all know who it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, you passed away.
Just
God,
recently.
God rest his
Spoiler
soul.
alert, Mark. I'm
Oh.
just
Do you know what speaking of that, do you know what I just found out?
What?
I didn't know that he was the voice of
Mufasa?
on Lion
yeah.
King.
Really?
Really?
Don't you remember in that Big Bang episode where he's like, I got a Lion King residual check burning a hole in my pocket?
Right over my head.
Yeah.
true.
That's why.
It clicked when everybody was posting their, the what is it? The
Rest in peace.
yeah,
things.
and like it had like Mufasa and Darth Vader. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So
He's the voice of Mufasa.
yeah. Yeah, so I feel
Mufasa.
like you can't give movie suggestions until you see Titanic.
I know what we're watching.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
right.
we're watching tonight. Titanic.
I haven't even
So
seen
I can
Titanic
say, like, draw me
either.
like one of your French girls. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so should we?
Okay, so I got Leatherface winning. You guys have Michael winning.
Yep.
That's okay.
And we're not. Yeah.
And we can let the
That's
comments
all right.
decide
So technically,
too. Also,
Michael won. He won 3-1.
we could also
but-
see if the comments will decide
Exactly.
also that too.
Leave your comments in below if you think I'm right, which I feel like I am, but obviously,
We also did-
three
We
out of
also
4.
are
Team.
Team Michael.
Yes, you
we
guys are
love
very much
Michael
Team
Myers.
Michaels.
I'm not much.
Do you
Michael
know a
Myers.
fun fact about Maya? She, in every Halloween from like 7th grade through 12th grade, every Halloween, like from October 1st to like November 1st, that was her ringtone when she would wake up,
Yeah.
or her alarm
Yep.
was the Halloween theme song.
And I can never get a Michael Myers Halloween costume.
Why?
She won't let me.
Oh,
Yeah.
because it scares you?
I have nightmares yearly, annually.
Yes, around this time
Around
every
this
year,
time. I've already had 2.
she has Michael Myers nightmares.
I might get one then, just to scare
I've
for all
already
the
had
Chucky stuff
2.
you did to me when I was
So-
small.
All right.
But let
Might
us,
get-
like
I might get
Jamin
one
said,
just
let
for
us
you.
know in the comments who you guys would think would win between Leatherface of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Michael Myers from the Halloween series. All right, so now we're just kind of moving on to our final thoughts. Final thoughts is basically like if there's anything you want to basically say to kind of wrap things up. The past couple of weeks we've been emphasizing making an impact. Okay, so one of the things we kind of finish up with is like find a way to make an impact on somebody's day in a positive way. Okay, so we talked a lot about a lot of stuff today. It's been a lot of fun. It's something that I've wanted to get you guys to do for quite a while now. Hopefully we can have a part 2, but I think we can, because if you guys can't tell now, we're 2 hours plus and we're still talking. Okay, and this is a typical anytime we get together.
Federal
thing.
holiday.
Veterans Day is coming up in November.
There you go. Maybe in Veterans Day we'll have you come on back on the show.
Only a federal holiday.
Yep. So
We'll see if I have the day off though.
there you go. But I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on out here to be open and vulnerable with people and talking about personal things. And I know that's hard for some of us, but it's fun, and it's a way to kind of give a little peek into the insight of your own personal mind and how we operate as a family. I think we're pretty damn cool, but
I second that.
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're well. Some of us are funny.
I'm not funny.
Some of us are not funny.
I'm funny.
I'm pretty funny.
I'm not very funny.
Dad jokes aren't funny though.
I got some amazing dad jokes.
You don't.
I actually do. In fact, that's how we're gonna finish. Everybody has
Here
to
we
tell
go,
a joke.
Jamin.
Oh, I had
Why
to
did
say,
you do
that?
I had to say something.
So, what's your best joke, Shanna?
I can't.
Mine?
Yeah, do
I
you
don't
have
have
a
a
joke?
good. I don't have a good. I don't have
do
one
not
because
have a
it's
good
not.
joke.
I had a
appropriate for
little
this.
one. Who was it? It was someone in the little kids class. So little kids are like kids 6 and younger. Okay, he came up to me and he goes, "Sensei, can I tell you a joke?" I said, "Sure, buddy. What's up?" And he goes, "What do you get when you cross a snail and a porcupine?" And I said, "What, buddy?" He goes, "A slowpoke." I was like,
That's cute.
I go,
That's cute.
that was pretty funny, buddy.
That's good.
I go, high five. I like that one.
We'll end on that.
I got an
Slowpoke.
even better one.
No.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
No.
Okay. So, I'm probably going to offend somebody, but who
No, it's
knows?
gonna be
It's
me.
not bad. It's not dirty. I think it's funny.
Oh.
Oh,
It-
family friendly.
That's
it
why-
is sort of family friendly, but God promised man that He would find obedient wives at all corners of the world, right? And then He made the earth round.
Oh. Well, on that note, friends,
Well then.
Well, I have to share.
What?
I feel like your phone listens to you.
Why?
Carnival Cruise Line is calling me.
Really? Hey,
Really?
is
hey,
it
guess
time
what,
to book
guys?
a cruise?
Carnival's calling us. How did that happen? Would you
Wait,
need-
are they doing a deal? Do you
our
need to
cell-
answer?
Our cell phones listening to us?
So
Should we
Send
answer
me
it?
$1 billion. I'm holding
Send me
my
on a
cell
gambling cruise.
So-
Should
to my
you
face.
answer it?
we might have our next cruise booked sooner than later, friends.
There you go. Does anybody else got a funny joke?
Mine's. I can't do mine.
Yeah, then try to not make it too dirty.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
thing.
Well,
Oh, I have one.
All right, what's up?
Why don't financial institutions have leaves?
Why?
Because there's branches.
There you go. Oh, you laugh at that? Okay. Shanna laughs at the credit ones or the finance ones. I get it. I make a joke about
Crowd,
wives.
please.
Tough crowd.
Yeah,
Tough crowd.
I think that was funny.
Thank you.
I'm
I
not
like that
much
one.
of a person that laughs, so good luck with getting me to laugh.
Alrighty. Well, thank
But-
you for having us.
Thank you for
Thank
coming,
you.
guys.
Yep.
Anything else you want to leave the people with? And by the silence, I would say no. All right.
Just have a good afternoon, good
Till
day.
next time,
Till
folks.
next time, which we'll definitely have them on again. If there's anything you would like us to talk about as a family, leave your comments down below. But if not, have a great day, everybody, and kick it with us next time.